In today's world, where information travels at the speed of light, a single piece of content can spark global conversations and reshape long-held beliefs in an instant. Information spreads instantly, crossing borders and cultures with unprecedented ease, reaching millions within hours. This rapid dissemination, however, sometimes comes with unsettling consequences, as misinformation and sensationalism can quickly take root. A recent video from Dr. Ivanovic did just that, capturing the attention of the internet and sparking a global debate, igniting a wave of anxiety online and prompting many to question deeply ingrained cultural practices. In the video, Dr. Ivanovic warned viewers, with a tone of grave concern, never kiss a deceased loved one goodbye. The message was stark, direct, cutting through the noise of the internet with its unsettling simplicity, and deeply personal for many, especially those who had recently experienced loss. It challenged a cherished ritual, a final act of love and farewell that has been practiced across cultures for centuries, leaving families questioning a tradition that has brought comfort for generations and forcing them to confront uncomfortable truths about death and disease. The video's impact was immediate, with views skyrocketing and shares multiplying at an exponential rate, tapping into primal fears about death and disease and triggering a wave of heightened anxiety and caution. News outlets amplified the warning, further spreading the message and solidifying its place in the public consciousness, fueling debate and confusion as people grappled with the implications of the doctor's advice and its potential impact on their own grieving processes. Some people vowed to avoid the final kiss, choosing to err on the side of caution and prioritize their physical safety, while others felt the advice was cold and lacking compassion, arguing that it undermined the emotional and spiritual significance of the ritual. The conversation quickly became about more than germs. It transcended the realm of simple hygiene. It was about the collision of science, emotion, and tradition, and the complex interplay between our rational and spiritual selves. Dr. Ivanovic's plain language made his claims seem credible, lending weight to his argument and swaying many viewers, but also left out important context, failing to address the nuances of grief, cultural practices, and individual circumstances. This is the double-edged sword of medical advice on social media. The ease of access comes at the cost of thoroughness. It spreads fast, reaching a vast audience in a matter of moments, but often lacks nuance, presenting complex issues in a simplified and sometimes misleading manner. The viral warning forced families to seek clear answers during an already difficult time, adding another layer of stress and uncertainty to their grieving process. It made us all reconsider how we say goodbye, prompting introspection and a reevaluation of our deeply held beliefs, and whether love could really be dangerous, challenging the very foundation of human connection and affection. The debate was intense, with strong opinions clashing and emotions running high, with people divided between fear of infection and potential harm, and the need for comfort, human connection, and the solace of tradition. Ultimately, the video became a flashpoint, igniting a global conversation that extended far beyond the initial warning, for a much bigger conversation, touching upon fundamental aspects of human existence, about grief, safety, and the rituals that help us heal, and how we navigate the delicate balance between them. It left many searching for reliable guidance, seeking answers from medical professionals, religious leaders, and grief counselors. The question lingered, hanging in the air, unanswered and unresolved. Is a final kiss truly a risk, a potential threat to our physical well-being? Or is it a misunderstood act of love, a deeply meaningful expression of grief and connection? The answer, as we'll see, requires careful consideration and a nuanced understanding of the complexities involved. Is far more nuanced than a viral video can capture, demanding a balanced perspective that takes into account both scientific evidence and human emotion. Dr. Ivanovic's warning centered on a topic that many find unsettling: what happens to the body after death, specifically the role of bacteria and the potential dangers they pose. He painted a picture of rapid decay and infection. He claimed that, with the immune system gone, the body's natural defenses are completely down, leaving it vulnerable. Bacteria multiply unchecked, feasting on the body's tissues and fluids, their numbers exploding exponentially. This, he argued, turns the body into a potential source of dangerous pathogens, a breeding ground for infectious agents. He suggested that even a simple act of affection, like kissing the deceased, could transmit illnesses. He He cited examples of serious conditions like meningitis or sepsis, highlighting the potential for severe health consequences. He emphasized that the risk was particularly high through direct contact with mucous membranes, especially through the mouth or nose. The imagery was vivid and frightening, painting a grim picture of the dangers lurking within a deceased body. He described decomposition as a rapid transformation, a cascade of biological processes unfolding at an accelerated rate. This, according to Dr. Ivanovic, making the body unpredictable and risky for close contact, a source of potential harm. This narrative played on our inherent discomfort with death, tapping into deep-seated fears about mortality and decay. The simplicity of his warning, combined with the emotional weight of the subject, making his advice seem like common sense. But while it's undeniably true that the body's microbiome undergoes significant changes after death, shifting in composition and activity, the real question, the crucial point of contention, is how much actual risk does this really pose to those who come into contact with the deceased? The debate that followed wasn't about whether decomposition happens. Everyone agrees that it's a natural and inevitable process. Instead, it was about whether a final kiss, a gesture of love and farewell, is truly a dangerous act, a potential vector for disease. Dr. Ivanovic presented what could be considered a worst-case scenario as the norm, implying that such risks are commonplace. This approach, understandably sparking fear and controversy, leading many to question long-held traditions and practices. His leap from possibility to probability, from a potential risk to a likely outcome, is what drew sharp criticism from other experts in the field. The science behind post-mortem changes is far more complex and nuanced than a single simplified warning can adequately convey. So let's delve deeper and look at what other medical professionals and scientific studies say about the real, evidence-based risks. Medical professionals quickly responded to Dr. Ivanovic's claims. Experts like Dr. Fisher argued that the risk of illness from kissing a properly prepared body is extremely low. They explained that most bacteria involved in decomposition aren't dangerous to healthy people. For transmission to occur, a specific virulent pathogen would need to be present in large amounts, an unlikely scenario at a modern funeral. Diseases that do pose a risk, like Ebola, are rare and already have strict protocols in place. For most causes of death, there's no risk of transmission. Decades of experience show no outbreaks linked to this tradition. The consensus, a gentle, final kiss, is not a significant health threat for grieving families. The World Health Organization offers clear guidance: dead bodies are generally not infectious. The main exceptions are rare, highly contagious diseases like cholera or Ebola, where special precautions are required. For the vast majority of deaths, the body poses no risk to those saying goodbye. The WHO recommends basic hygiene, like hand washing, but does not ban touching or kissing the deceased. Their approach is risk-based, allowing for normal rituals except in rare, high-risk cases. This global perspective grounds the conversation in science, not fear. Families are encouraged to grieve in meaningful ways, as long as simple precautions are followed. Emotional well-being is recognized as a public health priority too. Compassion and safety can and should coexist. Online, the response to Dr. Ivanovic's video was immediate and far-reaching. Dr. Ivanovic's video sparked a storm of emotion, a whirlwind of opinions and personal experiences flooding social media platforms. Some viewers were alarmed, understandably concerned about the potential implications of the doctor's statements. They were worried they put themselves or loved ones at risk, grappling with the fear of unseen dangers. Others pushed back, offering alternative perspectives and challenging the prevailing narrative. They shared stories of how a final kiss brought them peace and closure, emphasizing the importance of human connection in times of grief. The debate revealed a deep divide, a chasm between those prioritizing safety and those valuing emotional expression. Some found comfort in strict rules, in the clarity and certainty that guidelines provided during a difficult time. Others found solace in ritual and connection, in the shared experiences and traditions that helped them navigate loss. For many, the act of kissing the deceased was about love, a final expression of affection and remembrance. It was about honoring a bond, not calculating risk. The conversation became less about bacteria, less about the scientific specifics of transmission. It shifted and became more about how we process grief, how we cope with loss, and how we find meaning in the face of death. People's responses showed there's no universal answer, no single, correct way to grieve. Grief is personal, a unique and individual journey. Doctors' advice touches not just the body, it extends beyond the physical realm, but the heart, acknowledging the emotional and psychological dimensions of health. The flood of comments proved that the truth lies somewhere between science, between empirical data and medical expertise, and the soul, between our deeply held beliefs, values, and emotional needs. Social media amplified both fear, magnifying anxieties and uncertainties surrounding death and disease, and the need for comfort, highlighting the human desire for connection, empathy, and reassurance in times of distress. The debate was messy, often heated, and sometimes even hurtful. It was emotional and deeply human, reflecting the raw and vulnerable nature of grief. It reminded us that advice on grief must consider both physical safety, the need to protect ourselves and others from harm, and emotional needs, the importance of validating feelings, offering support, and allowing individuals to grieve in their own way. The conversation continues, evolving as we learn more about grief, loss, and the human condition. It is shaped by both evidence and empathy, by scientific understanding and compassionate care. In the end, as the dust settled and the initial shock subsided, people sought reassurance, a sense of peace and understanding amidst the chaos. They sought not just rules, but also permission to grieve in a way that felt authentic and meaningful to them. Modern funerals are built on science and safety. Embalming disinfects and preserves the body, drastically reducing bacteria. Refrigeration and climate control further minimize any risk. Funeral directors are trained to follow strict hygiene protocols and advise families if any real danger exists. If a contagious disease is present, they'll recommend precautions or a closed casket. Most viewings involve bodies that have been carefully prepared and are safe for close contact. The viral warning ignored these crucial safeguards. The real reason the risk is low. Professionals work hard to make it so. Families can focus on saying goodbye, knowing safety is already in place. Beyond science, there's a powerful emotional truth. For many, a final kiss is a vital part of grieving, a way to make loss real and say goodbye with love. Touch is our first language of comfort, and it remains essential at life's end. A gentle kiss or touch can anchor us in reality, provide closure, and replace painful memories with peace. Denying this act can feel cruel, stripping away a fundamental human need. The desire for a final touch is universal, crossing cultures and backgrounds. Any discussion about safety must also honor this deep emotional need. The question isn't just, is it safe? But, how can we balance safety with compassion? The answer requires empathy as much as evidence. Grief is not just intellectual, it's physical and emotional. We must respect both the science and the soul. There's a middle path for families seeking both safety and connection. Trust your funeral director. They're your best resource for guidance. If you wish to kiss your loved one, choose the forehead or cheek, where risk is lowest. Wash your hands afterward, as you would in any public setting. Those with weakened immune systems or open wounds should be extra cautious. There are many ways to say goodbye: a gentle touch, a letter, or simply being present. The decision is personal, but the science says the risk is minimal for most. With good information, families can honor both their hearts and their health. The viral debate taught us that grief needs both compassion and clear science. The risk of illness from a final kiss is exceptionally low, thanks to modern funeral practices. For most, a gentle touch or kiss is a safe, meaningful way to say goodbye. Denying this comfort based on exaggerated fears can do more harm than good. Science gives us the tools to stay safe: hand washing and expert guidance and context. We can make informed choices that honor both love and health. Let's move forward with empathy and evidence, not fear. When seeking advice, consult trusted experts and consider the full context. The human heart's needs are as real as the body's. By blending science and compassion,